Hello everyone, this is FireSlug87. As you can see, I am now doing a video voiceover commentary, so this is what I look like in real life. If you had like a different expectation of who I was going to look like, sorry to disappoint you guys, but this is the real FireSlug87. Today I'm going to be playing on the server Keystone Creative. I recently became a moderator through submitting an application, and I just want to show you guys what it's like to be a moderator or just a staff in general on any Minecraft server. So I'm going to do my best. It may be difficult sometimes because I have to help people out, I have to settle disputes, and at the same time I have to talk to you guys. So I'm going to try and do my best to do all of those at once. Unfortunately, I'm not really good at that multitasking thing. So for the purposes of this video, I'm probably not going to help out the members too much. So what do I want to talk about for today? I don't really have anything planned. I guess I'll just talk about what I feel about Minecraft right now. I don't know, I just feel like I haven't really been motivated recently to play this game. And I'm not saying that's because of what's happened recently with some, admins leaving. I do have my own opinion on that subject, but I feel that, what's happened has happened, and that everyone has hopefully moved on, and, they're doing better things with their time, I guess. So that's all I really have to say on that subject. There's no use really, beating a dead horse. And I don't want to say anything that's gonna, cause more drama and more people to leave on the server. Anyway, yeah, I just feel like recently, I haven't really been motivated to like build things. I mean, I just log on and, I'll do a member check. We can do that right now, actually. I don't have anything better to do. Basically, I check members, see whether or not they're griefing, and I'll just go through the whole list one by one. So we'll start with this guy. And it's really interesting, just observing players. They can't see me. It's pretty funny, I think. Stalking players, whatnot. I don't like to call it stalking because I feel like I'm just doing my job, but I guess it kind of is stalking anyway. And basically, the primary purpose is right now is to check for griefers. It takes me about like 30 seconds or so to figure out if someone is griefing. In this case, he's clearly building a tunnel, so there's no issue here. I can give members or trusted items. Recently, the give command has been removed, I think, for donators because there's this opinion that moderators and Keystone staff are supposed to give items to members and trusted and not trusted donors. So I guess that's why the reason the give command, if donors ever had it, was taken away from them. Okay, let's check up on who else is on the server. Let's say that members, they're a much higher risk of griefing because obviously they're new. They haven't, gained trusted status. You have to play 30 hours, and by then, most trusted. If you can play on the server for 30 hours without getting banned or getting any warnings, you're pretty much good to go, I think. So, okay, I'm not so sure what this guy's doing. He's just standing there. I do have a tool I can use called HK tool. Sorry, it's called Hawkeye tool, and I can left click on a block, and I left click on it, and it's obvious to me that this guy did in fact build his home and that there's no issue here. He's not griefing or anything. So I'm just going to go back to the list and go to the next member. and I'll keep doing this over and over again. So, I don't know, this is pretty interesting right here. Looks like we have a group building effort. I think that's what's going on here. Yeah. So, I don't think there's any issues here. Sometimes there are disputes between, you know, whose building it is or whose house it really is, but I don't think that's going to be an issue for now. It looks like a group community building project so forth, so nothing to worry about here. And let's go to this guy. See what he's up to. Ooh, this looks interesting. And it looks like he built it. He built the entire thing out of obsidian. And it looks like a jail to me. Uh-oh. So you gotta be real careful with the vanish command. See how I stepped on that pressure plate? To him, he's gonna be like, hey, how did that door open on its own? So, it's kind of strange, but luckily for me, he was AFK, so he probably didn't see that, you know, I was behind him or that I opened the door, even though I have the vanish command and I'm invisible to everyone. Also, when I'm using this command, people can hear me. If I'm walking, they can hear my footsteps, even if I'm invisible. So, I want to avoid walking, so I use the fly command. And if I also use the magic carpet, they can see the magic carpet, even though I'm invisible. So I'm going to avoid using that as well. So I think a lot about being a moderator is just using your best judgment, really. And there's going to be a lot of situations where members are they're gonna want you to create warps for them. They're going to have disputes with another player about who owns this building and whatnot, or hey, he griefed my village, and that gets really confusing sometimes, especially if they had like permission to build in the village in the first place. So let's go on to the next dude. Okay, let's go to Garrett. Alright, let's see what Garrett's up to. Now, one way, you know, that's really easy to detect griefers. To me, typical signs of a griefer, they're usually wearing full diamond armor, and they have a pickaxe. So that's like a red alert sign to me right there. It's like a warning sign. And I'm going to be using Hawkeye, and I'm sure I'm going to be able to find something here. And unfortunately, sometimes these dudes, they have like, I don't know what you call it, but it's like a compass where they can see any player like within like a certain radius of them. So even though I'm invisible, they may be able to see me. And so that's really unfortunate. And I hope that's not going to become an issue here. It shouldn't, but you never know. And it's really interesting. I have no idea what this guy is doing here. So a lot of times I'll just watch players. And it looks like he's trying to build a nether portal. But nether portals are disabled on this server. And he's a member, and members can't place fire. So you can see here he's trying to make a fire with flint and steel, but it's not going to happen. So I'm going to keep an eye on this guy. I'm not, you know, I don't take anything for granted, let's say, and, you know, it's hard to tell whether or not someone's potentially a griefer or not. Okay, see, I failed so hard there. It happens though. It happens, man. It's like a typo. So instead of typing like teleport to, I type TP. It's really embarrassing. Other people do it as well, but you know, whatever. He left the game. Yeah. I'm gonna check out what this dude's doing here. Looks like he's just placing his own, he's making his own building. Looks pretty nice. I have no idea what it is. I think it's a castle or something. Okay, I've already been here before. go to anime kin. Oh, look at this, guys. We have a griefer. He's hard at work. He's very diligent in his griefing duties. So, I mean, it's very obvious to me. He's like a professional griefer or whatever. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a warp, create a pop fire grief. And so there'll be HK logs here, and I mean Hawkeye logs here, and they'll be able to tell that, hey, he griefed, and you know, I'll tell an admin whenever they swim by, and he'll get banned. As I said before, it takes about 15-30 seconds to determine whether or not someone's griefing. In this case, the guy is a hardcore griefer, and yeah, we're just gonna watch him grief. I don't know, I don't have anything else better to do, and for those of you who are like, oh no, Fire Slug, you gotta kick him, you gotta do something, he's griefing, what the fuck, you aren't doing anything. You're just watching him grief. Okay, the damage can be rolled back. That's why we have the rollback command, is that we can roll back any kind of grief. So, you know, he's pretty diligent.